Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for you to be here, so make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share with your friends. We're working on a Halloween series, so I hope you enjoy. Hey, so this DIY is so much fun. So all you're going to need is the small fishbowl from the Dollar Tree, that white piece of ceramic. That white dish is from the Target dollar spot last year, but honestly, it's just a white tray that goes underneath it like a terracotta pot. So a terracotta pot, and then this was an incense. Yeah, you stick the incense in the hole, and you. Shh, my dogs. I tell you, they gotta bark in every video. Okay, so it's an incense burner holder. So if you don't have that one, of course I had to buy one in each color, and I was like, okay, I have one for my incense, and what do I need the rest of these for? So I've been saving them for a special occasion, and today is that day. So I'm going to take my base here, and I'm going to paint it all black. So if you don't have the incense burner on top, you can just use 2 of the terracotta pot bottoms and glue one to the other. Or you don't even need 2. I just liked it like that because it was scalloped on around the edges, so I wanted to use it as the base for we're making a crystal ball here. So I'm going to paint the whole thing black. And I don't actually you're not going to be able to see the incense burner thing in the inside through the jar once we're done, but I painted it anyway. So everything is a solid black. So these were new from the Crafters Square. I can talk today. And they're just like palette sheets. So essentially they're like wax paper. But I thought this was pretty handy dandy, so I picked up a couple when I was at the store the other day. And you can see that they're totally like wax with the way that the paint sits on them. So this was really cool. I like to do that because, I'm always looking for something to stick paint in. Always. If you're a crafter, you know what I'm talking about. You're like, I need to use this paint, but where's it going to go? So I'm just going to go ahead and go around the bottom of this, the scallops, all in gold. And I'm just being thorough by painting the inside because, again, you're not going to be able to see it once we have the top on. But I just like to know that it's finished and it's all ready to go. So I'm just going to paint the scallops top and bottom in the gold color just to give it a little extra pop to it. You don't have to do this step, but I just thought it was just kind of added a little bit extra to the design here. So I'm just spraying a little bit of water into my little shot glass here. You could pick those up at the Dollar Tree. I do use those for paint a lot, but normally when I'm going to paint something like, a bigger something, I don't want to waste one just for a couple little swipes of paint. But I did cut out my paint there just in case I wanted to touch anything up. And I added some purple to it. Give it a little swishy swish to swirl it around in there. And we're going to pour this into the mini fishbowl. So we're going to swirl it around because I want it to look like it's, when you think of a crystal ball, you think of the moving parts of the crystal ball, like whatever's inside is swirling around. So that's the look that I'm trying to go for here. So see how it has those like random little squiggles in there. That was like paint that didn't mix up. So I took my paintbrush in there, my little one, and I'm just kind of smearing those around so that I could break them up because I don't want any weird big splotches in my paint. I want it to be smooth, but I want it to look like it's moving. So there it is. You can still see a couple in there, but that's okay. We're going to skip to the next part. So then I decided to add some pink in here. If you watched my last video, then you know that I like spooky but not scary, whimsical, fun Halloween. So when I think of that, I think of the bright, fun colors where, you know, you use the orange and the purple and pink and stuff like that. So we're just going to keep swirling that around. And then at some point here, I learned that my little tiny brush is not going to do the business that I want it to do. So I pulled out like a 1/4 inch paintbrush, and I'm just going to really just swirl it. So I'm just swirling, swirling, swirling until I get the look that I'm achieving. And I'm doing this in layers. So now that I had swirled that, the purple went away. So I'm going to add some more purple in there. You just see how I'm just twisting and swooping, twisting and swooping. I've done this before where you add Mod Podge to the paint, and it helps spread it out and keep it where you want it to be. So you could do that also, but this worked out just fine. So I'm going to add a little bit of black to give it that smoky look to it. And then dry her up because I cannot wait to shove the lights inside. I was like, ooh, this is coming out really cute. I can't wait to put the lights inside and see what it looks like. So then I'm like, too much black. Let's add some more pink. So I had the pink in there, and I'm just going to swirl it around. And then I add a little bit of water to help swirl it around some more. But I just really wanted to look like the inside was moving. So if you have any suggestions on this, but I think it came out good. I just figured I just kept going around, swirl and swirl and swirl until I got it exactly how I wanted it. So I got these lights from the Dollar Tree. They're just the like mesh over their little string lights. They take 2 AA batteries, so I also use those from the Dollar Tree. So I pop those in, and I love this look. If you guys are out and about and you see the ones with the mesh on them, swoop them up. So they're not very big. They're like perfect for these kind of projects. Or I like to use them on top of my cabinets when I decorate my kitchen for Halloween, and it just is a little extra spooky, whimsical pop up there. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that inside along with the battery pack because you can't see it. That's the best part. And that's it. That's my crystal ball. So you can stop here, but I wanted it to look like, I wanted hands really to look like gypsy hands holding it, but I didn't have any little hands. So we're going to use my, you've seen these in several of my projects. I got these at the 99-cent store, and my dogs are literally like, they have a tug of rope between them. So you're going to be able to hear them. I'm sorry, but pug life. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so these came on a garland, picked them up at the 99-cent stores. I'm so glad I picked up so many packs last year. And then I just snapped off, you know, a little bit of the finger because I wanted to look like it was holding the crystal ball. So the best way for me to get it to look like it was holding is to snap off the fingers and then glue them up in an upward design here. So like I said, if you don't have little hands or can't find any, you can skip this step, but I had them, so I thought it would be really cute with them holding onto the crystal ball. And this part was actually pretty simple. I thought I was going to have a little bit more trouble with the hot glue and the plastic, but it worked out really well. I just held it where I wanted it to stay, and it stayed there. And so I literally glued them onto the base that used to be white, and they have not come off. They are just doing pretty good. So I think they look so cool. I hope that you guys like this too. Let me know what colors that you would do on the inside of this, if you like the colors that I picked. And I hope you guys love it as much as I do. Feeling witchy. So we are going to do another fun DIY. This was a skull head that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I took it outside and I sprayed it in my copper spray paint. You could hand paint this, you can spray paint it, you can leave it the way it is, however you want to do it. But you're going to see how well this is going to look at the end when we're all done here. So I'm going to add some rhinestones to my skeleton head here. I had done one of these last year, and I did it all black, and I did a bunch of like harvest colored rhinestones, and I absolutely loved it. So I knew that I wanted to do some more of the skeleton heads with rhinestones because, let's just be honest, a little bit of bling never hurt anybody. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put rhinestones in select spots on here. And it's really just personal preference. You just got to really watch, just do it until you like the way that it looks. So you'll see that I go back and forth and I decide, where I'm going to put them at. And then when I've put them down, I actually like pull it back and I look at it and I think, is that enough? Does it need more? And you just go from there. So it's all really personal preference. So the thing about the hot glue on the plastic is it dries really, really quick. So you could see where I dropped that rhinestone, and so it took me a little bit longer to get it on there. The hot glue dried, but the nice thing is it just peeled right off the paint and didn't take any of it with it. I really need to invest in one of those wax pencils, so when I'm doing my rhinestones, I don't have to do it with my fingers, because I did burn myself quite a few times, so be careful. So these flowers are from the Dollar Tree. I got them during the springtime. They are their version of like the solo wood flowers. So you could see in my little container on the right there that I have a mixture of the both. So I have some from Sola and I have some from the Dollar Tree. And honestly, I like them both. They're both great. So every time I saw them, I picked them up. So I did have a good little stash going on. And so I'm just going to hot glue those to the top of her head here. This skeleton would be really cute if you did one for Dia de los Muertos. You could do a black one or a white one and put red flowers on her head. I think that would be amazing. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I think I'm going to do one for my house. So I'm just going to put some rhinestones in her eyeball there because she does need a little bling bling on that side. And so really I'm just kind of decorating like one side of its face, not both, because I don't want to go overboard, but I do want it to have a little bling, but not too much. So what inspired me to do this was I have a couple friends that love pink Halloween, and so I thought, what can I do that is along that line of pink Halloween, but do my twist on it, and so this is what I came up with. So I'm going to add a few more flowers to her head just to give her a little bit more. And then I really wanted to add just that soft green, so I used the lamb's ear from Walmart, and I just cut a few pieces, and I did cut them a little bit smaller than they were just to make them look right, because you know this is delicate and small, so I didn't want it to be too overwhelming, but I definitely wanted that. I love that furry soft green color that the lamb's ear provides. Isn't she pretty? I love it. So to go along with this, we are going to do a pumpkin, because you gotta have a blingy, flowery pumpkin too, right? So these flowers are from the Dollar Tree, and I wanted to change the color of this flower. And I've heard that people dye their solo wood flowers um, because they're wood, so they're dyeable. Um, this, honestly, I want to say this felt like corn husk. That's exactly what it felt like. You'll see at some point I cut the bottom off and it starts to fall apart, and it's exactly what it looked like to me. So I just winged it. So I put a little bit of water on it, and I'm just adding the paint on to change it from cream color to black. Now, it's not going to stay, solid black. You're going to see once I touch it, some of the paint's going to come off, but it really gives it that older rustic look to it, which I really liked. So I'm just using black chalk paint, and this one just happens to be Waverly, but you can use any chalk paint, chalkboard paint, acrylic, whatever you want to use. You can make your own chalkboard paint. When I run out of my Waverly stash, I'm going to have to come up with a different brand that I'm going to use. So this is new this year to the Dollar Tree, and they came out with black pumpkins. So they have the regular orange, they have the black, and they have the white. I haven't seen the white yet, but I was super excited to find the black ones. And so I just pulled out its generic looking stem on top, and I'm going to replace it with a little wood stick that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. But you can go out to your backyard, take your dog for a walk, pick some up while you're at work. There's branches everywhere. So these again are from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to pull them off of their wires. I like that they have the wires because it helps it when you're putting onto a wreath or whatever, but for this process I didn't need the wires. So here you're going to see me, because that was a big old butt to the bottom of that. So it had to go because it wasn't going to help the flower to lay flat on there. And I really wanted it to be more flat. So, I'm sawing it off there, and then the flower starts to fall apart. So that's when I really could see that literally it feels like corn husk. So, but it worked out really well because it spread the flower out, and I was able to put it flat onto the top of that pumpkin right there. So a little hot glue, a little pumpkin action works perfect. So remember, when you're working with styrofoam or the pool noodles or whatever, you want to have your glue gun set to low, because if not, it literally will bubble up that particular material. So I do have my glue gun set on low, and I'm just going to go here and put flowers, on here the way that I like the way it looks. You could do different colors. You could do These would be pretty spray painted gold or silver, depending on what you like there. I'm just going to add a few different colors. I do like the neutrals. I think they're a lot of fun. That one purple one I had left over, and I just thought it would be a cute little pop of color sitting on the top of this thing here. So this flower, I was really sawing at that and I could not get it off. So I did the next best thing here, and I'm just going to puncture a hole right into the side of this pumpkin, because these pumpkins are hollow on the inside. They're carvable pumpkins. So I just punched a hole, put some glue, realized it wasn't big enough, went back with my handy dandy scissors and shoved it in there. So that worked out perfect. And again, I wanted to add a little of that soft green fuzzy lamb's ear, and I just had to figure out where I was going to put it. That worked out good. It's just a nice little contrast to the flowers and then the dark of the pumpkin there. And then, so you're going to see, I'm looking at it from my angle. I wish working on that to have you more see it from the angle that I'm seeing it from. But the flowers didn't look quite right. So I ended up adding couple extra flowers to rise it up a little bit in the middle. And then I'm going to add a little bling to this purple flower. I thought it stood out on its own anyway, so why not give it some bling? And then I'm going to put a little bit of bling on the pumpkin itself. Not too much, just enough. So I did pick up these rhinestones from Hobby Lobby. I've had them for a hot minute. I was able to get them with my 40% off coupon, but somebody had to ruin that for the rest of us, so there is no coupon anymore. And it's rare that I see the rhinestones go on sale, but I think it's like $10 for a huge container. I've been using the same container for years. So definitely worth the $10 if you like to bling up any of your stuff. So this is where I put some extra flowers right there on top, because it just was sunken in the middle, and I really want it to, be rounded out at the top. So I know you really can't see the stem anymore. You can use a longer stem. That was going to be my plan going back, but because I hot glued mine in, I didn't want to rip apart the whole thing, so it's just going to work the way it is. You can even add some curly cues using pipe cleaners or that wired jute cord if you wanted to, but I think this came out so cute. Adorable. But no bougie pumpkin is complete without some sparkly spiders. So we're going to add some sparkly spiders to this. Again, I picked these up at the Dollar Tree. They were 4 for $1. And I have used spiders on everything. Like, I am so glad that I bought as many packages as I did. And I still haven't even decorated for Halloween. That's coming up this week. So I may need some more spiders, because spiders are life. I love spiders. My husband hates spiders, deathly afraid of them. Will throw me in front of throw me in front to save himself from a spider. But I think the little fake ones are cute, and he's a good sport. He doesn't mind that I have spiders hanging from everywhere for about a month and a half. So here's the beautiful set together. I know you can't see them because they're facing me, but here is my final reveal on this together, and I think it came out so cute. I hope you guys love this as much as I do. So we are gonna make a poison apple. I picked up these apples on Amazon. I've done a couple other things with them, but I definitely wanted to make a poison apple. So, and I've made other poison apples, but this one just kind of came to me, so I thought I'd share it with you. So I took it outside and I spray painted it with black matte spray paint. Oh my goodness, I can't talk today. And then I'm going to take this dowel and I'm just going to cut it down to be the little stick that sticks out the top. And the way that I cut mine is with the dog nail trimmers, and I picked mine up at the Dollar Tree. They're the perfect size to cut the dowels down, which I also picked up at the Dollar Tree. So we're going to see some more glue fun happening because, you know, this girl cannot get enough hot glue in this project. So you could see how it's turning white. At this point, I am using my hot glue gun at the high temperature when I first started, and then I realized that I have it on too hot, so I turn it down to low. So low is the way to go. Low for your stuff like this. You don't want too hot of glue, otherwise it takes forever to dry and it could like actually indent the project that you're working on, and you don't want that because it does not look as good. So I'm just going to do multiple layers of my hot glue over the top of this super cute black apple. So I'm using Crimson Red by Waverly chalk paint, and I'm just going to go over all of the dried hot glue and turn it red. So I think I do 2 layers of this. In some spots I had to do 3. It just really depends on how heavy you put it on the first time, but I just like to put little thin coats and build up from there. And I was trying to be careful to not get red all over where my black is, but no worries. If you do, you can just go ahead and touch it up with a little bit of black. And I'm just going to go ahead and let you watch me paint it red. So this little skeleton head I picked up at the Dollar Tree. It came in a package with, I don't know, quite a few actually. And I'm going to take my box cutter and or my utility knife, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to saw off the back of his head. So you can totally leave your apple just the way that it is, but I thought it'd be cool to see if I can get this little skull face to come popping out the other side. So as you saw, I had little bones and I had spiders, and I was just trying to figure out what I was going to add to this because if you haven't figured by now, I'm a little extra and I like to add more and more stuff to my projects. So like I said, you could either do this or not. So I'm just going to add some more hot glue here, and I'm going to look like it. I want it to look like it was coming out of the apple. Hindsight 2020, I should have cut a little bit into the apple and pushed the skull face in a little bit more, but I still really like it and think it's really cute. And if you don't want to do that, you can just leave it like I said. So I've already done mine, and I'm just gonna deal with it this Halloween. And I'm sure I'll come up with some other idea for next Halloween. So I'm just gonna take a smaller brush and I'm gonna go ahead and paint the hot glue that dried over the skeleton and the extra that I put on the top to make it look like it was all pouring down together. Thank you guys again so much for being here. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, my name is Amanda and I like to do home decor on a budget. I'd like to do life on a budget. I just love it. I love the Dollar Tree. I love the 99-cent store. I love thrift shopping. You'll see all of that in here. I am a mom and a stepmom to 8 children. Yes, you heard that correctly. I said 8. My husband and I have been married for almost 13 years. and we're still happily in love, just like we were the day that we got married. So I just wanted to, tell you, I try to squeeze a little bit about myself in every video. So if you like what you're seeing, make sure that you subscribe. Hit the bell button so that it will let you know every time I upload a video, and comment in the comment section and share with your friends. I don't know why that came out so difficult, but anyways, I thank you guys so very much for being here. And of course, if you haven't figured out by now, I love these sparkly spiders, so I had to add one to the top of here. And if you guys are still watching at this point, because this is a long video, go ahead and put a little apple emoji in there, write the word apple, tell me something about my poison apple, just so I know that you guys are still here. So I hope you like this little project as much as I do, and I look forward to making some more Halloween DIYs in this little series that I'm going to be working on for you.